7 Asempa FM so ne Ekosiisen dwumedie no asuguso a utie no yeda munyina asese matwen yen yama yakọ aba 36 minutes after 4 live on Asempa FM. Enti yeguso edi dwumedie no bremo but
Ekosiisen on Asempa.
Meaning say a lot of lists make it round ministerial appointment list any ade said the yedi kan any mo ahase no all the concrete info Ekosiisen dwumedie so na mo benya me adom ochna. We'll be bringing you the latest information as far as appointments are concerned. What we can confirm for you, though, and it's the choice of chief of staff, and not there, it has been confirmed in the Honorable Frima Osei Opare. Yes. Akosia Frima Osei Opare. For her, it's been confirmed, chief of staff or Twaso. In the second term of Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. Inti number about Ochina Nyame Aduma, we have some interesting information for you. Nyame Aduma Ochina, inti make a date with us. We may hear some segment so Ochina. Oman Hine Kwabena Santi will join me. Now for the latest info and sack as far as the appointments now are concerned at the amount. A lot of lists make it around on social media. Disregard them. Nyame Aduma Ochina. The latest no ebebremo and ye car unim say ye into your channel. Just make a date. I'll tell you who is going where
on Asempa FM.
You know. But I'm a woman who is here. I share what's your Parliament. I question the echoes or any minority for a press conference. Mr. Minority. NDC caucus I press conference. NPP caucus so I press conference and in Sembe Brina na Ekoso, Yebenya Joseph Pogu Gapo na afi waboni nyina tofa edi amaye na yahwe what's happening on the floor of Parliament. Efa, you know, omo ayetna left side ni omo ayetna right side. In the ebedi san common nyina later on the show. Anthony Nukweno atnase. Nukweno akwa aba na say
Obade adom hu ye na also
Yame adom ekoyi.
Afishapa.
Afi papa nkometo yen. Kakaso na nka na hoboko de.
Oh, kakaso na nka ne importem nyina bibi aboko. Bibi aboko.
Anthony Nukweno. No, wajidin. So unim say wajidin pa.
Philip. Wajidin.
Hey.
Oh them.
Regional organizer NDC Greater Accra.
Oh.
Watimi age seat. Uji seat say.
Oh, big news seat 7. Ebeka 13
and number 1.
Yeah.
And this year you have 20 seats.
Yeah.
Greater Accra. And Mama MPP for saying
they've gone to 14.
Yeah. 14. Yes, 34 seats in
all.
In Timu 20 and more 14. 2016 now Momo was saying
13.
And more
21.
Wow. Wow. And we are Juma.
No, we can been a doom ye. Any yankasa ye fum so be a year or Amasa Mani Botiano. And fire horn manka also anka to. Oh,
Amasa man, the one who gap no. Amasa man gap woman.
Gap 4,000. And your gap a year a bibia ekoso. Yes.
Amasa man.
Amasa Mani Botiano.
Now Botiano's not gap in this one. 3,000. And now they all kind of said, yeah, 3,000 you need to be
it died 15,000 gap or la to point in 2012. 2016 no muji.
Yeah.
La Jokuku in 2012 your mamu gap of I think 11,000.
Oh, okay.
But Jay-Z Baji.
Okoboy Baji.
Baji with 2,000 or so 1,000 something difference. And I akwaji back. And there's nothing like when you have who focus on the ball to be able to determine where you need to garner the voter, you will not get. So the MPP, I think they watched it and played to the game. And then so these two consensus, no. And I can say on our last campaign tour, no, it also played against us in that concern because of how we touch on certain things in that place.
Oh, okay.
Going forward, no.
In that case, Amasama, no, it is not like safe for the
it's
NPP.
It's not safe. If they think someone fan is safer, they should not. Man in your mood there, so much Jana is not safe.
Mo be sen abeje mo ade.
Oh, in 2024, Nyame Aduneti in Kwemneti, party executive,
Yeah.
those two constituencies, no,
They are coming back.
will definitely annex them back, and then maybe add West Wagon.
I was so West Wagon.
Of course, yes.
I was so West Wagon.
Oh, look at what it's almost gone.
We are sure.
What was the difference in Ayawaso also?
Hey, how they almost gone as some okay. You wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, Ayawaso West Wagon. Obi mi say, Greater Accra Hano. Say NDC
Ekosiisen
as a
on
political
Asempa
party,
FM.
it means the needed logistics and resources and the human attitude towards work.
Yeah.
MPP will be within maybe 7 or 8 seats in Greater Accra. Yenya nipa almost dream say we must set our goal to take this seat. Yemfa bibi anto nchen, yem forgetting ya wetia yen nya wakan we na si seat we sebi say e ponchimpo a ye per seat no a ebetimi nya close to 28 seats or Greater Accra. But nipa ye suni ye bani ye ni ye kasa bebrebe lukewarm attitude eno na ma seat ni bi no e konchen.
Na say you will seat bit is a dental margin. So over history now. One term. What it means 2024, it's coming back to the NPP.
It is not absolute so. And yeah, absolute so. A dental always ye be lose yeah, if we are 2016. The way primaries no course so ashimo efimu that disagreement even as at the time on Nwangasa decided ye put Bob on board nani major supporters went off the scene. And don't forget say na Edua Sarisu dear womb did that. So that pocket of rivalry a womb. But this time around I apart from Ashimo who didn't play a game in the constituency, but he was not even around in the constituency. So everybody said no. And then who say da na yeko neighbor. So you see a gap that used to be 2005, 3005. This time around, gap nearby. Because there was a level of commitment from everybody, even though there was that trust was not there. But no many people say no matter what is it. That is why.
In the meaning is that if the NDC should continue to remain united or adenta,
in every constituency.
Oh, Greater Accra.
Yes, in every constituency. See, as we speak, you can say we are safe in all the 20 constituencies.
Yeah.
Asham Accra say MPP some person will win us or play game you winning. That is how the game of politics has been.
So say, even in the Greater Accra region, there are some constituencies that you and I know say a no-go area for you. In the constituency, it say Okaikwe South, Muntimen Jeddah, Meboa.
That is why dream channel.
Hey, Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Oshe ni Ekosiisen say ana. Sa nkantiti believe ni say o ye nananom die nti yen kosa no e change. Let's all watch the political terrain. It's changing. So you see NDC people not believing in NDC again from how they as their fathers accepted it from 92 to today, going to vote for MPP. And you see MPP people also not accepting and coming. So there is that change baton there, Bano. It will depend on the way I hear two political parties carry away to be able to entice our people to still believe in our cause and make sure say you hold them to your chest. Over the years, and say yenya power. We tend to focus on say yepe bibi fiha than holding to our people. So it is a game and year. Okay, say the Ghanaian voter is getting disappointed in the political class, and this year's election is going to show us something. And lo and behold, the way Parliament I saw it. So for me, 2024 is a game to watch and
make or break.
Yes, to win 2024, a bit depending how we all structure our political party from today. Caliber of executives you pick, not anything. You see a branch reorganization. Now for booklet, normal culture chronics. A doom a because you wanted to become maybe a constituency executive we maybe a chairman or a secretary today. Yeah, reorganization. So pen nipa on be party no polling centers no. What was the sank of me keke? You don't find them. What is the use of you to be a executive committee when you're the grassroots that should hold you up to be able to chest out are not there? So this time, I don't see such reorganization now. From the years. I don't see it going into our election again. We need to put in measures. Niyama ebe say so usu pese ubwa party no e was a branch now. You should be a committed person now. You should contribute something to make sure that position now hold you wholeheartedly accept it. But so you have true FM. There are times I will be frobi or say me minimum and those are the things. And I don't think, especially in the Greater Accra region, even if I'm no more going to be an executive, I will supervise such shambolic reorganization and leave the region and go. I have to really advocate for better reforms, sir. Ebema party no enya holding to fight in the coming election, so that when you fresh a branch way, who are the people, you must see them with quality and with sense of humor and ultimately deliver. We somewhere last year, one of the things I immediately say, a boy etimi marshally the ground to where we have reached, the reorganization to audit the branches to find out who out of the 1,000+ executive are now here for say no out of the about 20-something thousand plus and then you call around now executive got 2 years and do 7,000. We come the 34 constituencies. By then there were 4,817 polling centers. Baby Bokokra now unya one
executive.
I get him. So quickly we have to give an instruction. Say, constituency executives go around and appoint new people to hold the fort. And I believe
and also
most of this things played. Say, some new energy buyer at that time. No, in whom the sense of purpose. Say, look. Party no here want go out there. I get him. So
seats bena Mutime J in Greater Accra one kasa. Utsecha will say, how did we do this? Ana yon wama pa.
Madina constituency.
Madina shokeo.
And shocking me, but the
gap
nearby because now the personality and I play with no. Na who famani ni no.
Abubakar.
Yes, na idea. Yes, Runkumbi, and we had a lot of people from our side who were openly supporting him.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Branch executives.
No
supporting openly. They fear not anything.
Hey.
So, somehow we felt jittery, but Sosu also had a certain positive side and they're very high, and he was able to play it within the zongo with
FM.
Boniface because of Nyama wa Yabwa zongo people. It's almost someone who said no, Abrante we dear boy da. Na enye se nua na zongo ninti so it really worked. And then he was able to marshal the force within the hinterland of the constituency. So me nim se na ebe jiba na gap no na me nim se ebe basa. Ablekuma
Central.
Yeah. Ablekuma Central. Sita ebetimi ajibena on the way no the bickering bit in the constituency was so high. Say
NDC phone.
Yes, ultimate call program kwana behu executives bi jina baby na PC suni nkrofo jina baby na nyefe. But nyame di boy enti me omka say I cross-check for more than 9 times to be double sure. Say we have really taken that seat before I was
satisfied.
Okay, queen of and shocking me because all the time I catch you say that seat, Say
okay, Isa for saying
yes. Say ye nya candidate obeka nipa boma ebeji seat because continuously if we want presidential but parliamentary you lose. All because one original they don't that's zeal. So Teresa came in with a certain mindset.
Yeah.
And having been executive before, no, only play against someone and this is kasa training directions I am that unity was at the top and it reflected largely on the ground. So I knew we were going to take it, but now it said to be a very minimal margin. So I think say
three-way should be.
And Jay-Z say now minim said you be winning by minim so be close gap no, because now Udu baby kura now timu say wow unkrofu kura someone to abama candidate. And say what is it? Because Jay-Z I bet he say some I constant be na no Jay-Z na ti eti
Dr. Bernardo
Kobe. Oh yes, Jay-Z. Now me mean him say he be winning no. But mean him so be play game ama yet me mad the gap we used to give them. I knew he was going to do that. And he really played that game and got us close. But presidential, the microphone were setting on John Mahama, but personality, when it comes to the parliamentary became somehow, some way. But we wanted a seat to be able to pull the country to a certain status. That rubber stamping of parliament, Jizimbe did the normal bulldozer way.
But why did you want that seat?
Why don't you? Why didn't you want the seat? Because we have the people at heart. We have the people of Lejokuku at heart.
Now, I know the only one at heart.
Oh, one more at heart. You man, you started at 2. You should have put the energy in it. Saying you man,
and you man, Lekman Road.
Lekman Road.
That's what I'm
then.
Lekman Road.
First quote number A22.
Hey,
A22.
And how far so that way?
I know. A22. You see, when you do political quoting of roads, you will not.
But Lekman Road in Tutu. Yeah, also guys.
Obi.
Hey, fa.
Who crossing railway? No, echo maneta. Koshe. Koshe. Obi.
Oko hache. Oko hache.
Oko hache said that.
Oko hache.
Inyami. Minimally. Fast them to. Are you getting me? Upa ye now him said. Say in Sassi Nsemu Ekoyia.
Yeah.
And one of the blocks should be in
Lejokuku.
I expected me to forward to be able to work on that thing to get that school for the Lejokuku because they were part of the block system. But not in Sassi, baby only school besi. Only you know what happened. So I expect me to say, go out to the minister and say, look, minister, I need this for my people. But he didn't work on it.
Now Landing Beach there.
Landing Beach, no. Microphone, ni cameras, they call Landing Beach, they take us, they tear, miming capture, they tear from the fish. Yeah, they go. Great. So me, I won't say nothing. When I watch on the video, I laugh.
Catch almost a swimming pool.
Yeah, you see. Oh no, COVID by here come drink of we eat me kosi.
Yeah.
Ogofa beans.
And other bread.
What would he? Kofa beans bu ni akra me. Muchulu ko hunengo. Every day easy o. Enti Lejokuku, yes, we went in with a force. He played with us. First Lady Nemu, Obia Nemu, and our candidate is the quiet and the cold type, but he also have his positives because over the years they were only for a play game, you know. So people feel, oh, Abranti or quiet, only fine.
Yeah.
So it was a good game in that constituency.
My biggest challenge ever meeting the expectation of constituents. In the, for example, and when they say, "O party or power." About with some added advantages before you as member of parliament. A lot of these candidates are depend on how the Supreme Court verdict will go. Sebasa NDC be opposition now. Would you be able to meet the expectation?
Why wouldn't you have elected to say a member of parliament? And one thing like the constituency the constant flow of how you are with the people.
But he was always there. that phenomenon has been defeated.
He has a certain class that he was dealing with. He was not dealing with the class that determines who become the MP.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yes. You comic we be it. You try to come. If you go and play ball, you don't drink. You don't. You ain't sure no come you come. Oh, yak what she talk. I mean, afun gali. Ahu clock.
Come me.
Dokuno.
Oh, okay.
Go the gadi.
Na say me who the pictures on the guys it
oh
did
die.
Na they follow na.
Who?
Yes.
Yes, you call video crew.
Yes.
Mun crofu ye nyama okroma mu hu. Ashikma. When it comes to Teshi Homo, that is the biggest festival.
Ashikma, you know the timing of the Homo, no?
No.
That was at the peak of COVID, no. So there are not campaigns in starting you, mind you. Mass campaigns.
Massa, in Teshi we don't believe in COVID.
Oh, really?
Of course. Nipa hine wu Teshi of COVID.
Wow.
Are you getting me? So there was a way me could have played.
Message I'm
Debbie.
No, but that's
disingenuous. No, it's not disingenuous. I'm telling you, sir, you play the game how the people want it to be played. You don't use your jargon in the medical field and tell them when you back book it. I'm a go hand ashikma few okay. Yes, you are passionate about Beno who nika ashikma ba ebango.
It's abodenche.
Oh no.
It's abodenche.
So meda nyankopon dey acquire or dey buy
inti lejokuku say mo candidate obet me meet expectations.
Of course, you know he has been with the people for all these years,
okay,
and he has played the game with them.
Okay,
I get him. Okay. Bernard, Benjamin Aiku, Nyobia, oh yeah. Oh, that be Ben and the Ben. I was just about Ben.
And the child that candidate on GDs.
Oh, Aiku is a household name when it comes to Teshi. The Teshi people resonate with him.
Okay.
We will deploy mechanisms and skills,
to help him,
strategy to help him to be able to develop extra rapport, so that he can meet as he meet the locals.
But one true can they are Dr. Bessie seat.
Doctor no so on baby.
Share.
Teshika Jebo Obadon.
Oh,
Teshika Jebo Obadon because one call primaries or play game no one call primaries.
Yes.
About the big game no play no one call primaries. No. It's for me. And then about the BD say na me say be winning.
Oh, that's Tema East.
Tema East. Na me say be winning. Carlos, I think. Yeah. We
more underrated.
We are underrated. We didn't have a certain focus there. We would have won Tema West.
Hey,
yeah, we would have won Tema West.
I'm
telling you, no. Yes, me can't send me Tema West. You see, and that's why it's part of the cases idea court, because some of the things that happened at the collation centers were an eyesore. The same military brutality and tactics. Me say me call home, me call here. Almost say they won't allow me in. As a regional organizer, they won't allow me in. So it's some of the things.
Yeah, remember Dr. Okoboy Akwaba. Bansana no Opoku Gakpo Joseph, parliamentary correspondent. Opoku Akwaba na saying. And press conferences mienu ena atodwa wa parliament ene. Then a caucuses me no ka tremo.
My NDC caucus lead rural highness and I the first one. Na Yama me say let's now come MP and Yama at come urban party. Say in terms of doing business, you want to do business with a NPP side now. It doesn't give NPP information majority in the house. You know, say a person of sector record mystery, because a lot of that, what he calls information, has gone around. Say, Omaka say, Ombe is Mabum Yamomo, 137+1, he gives the majority. Or insist to say there's no majority in the house. Now, for many MPs, so Casa Baba Bedane, MPP MPR, I know a better say. On the Bentuma Kakobo Mudimuno, and you just all resign. And my insisted very much on that. Or some making another demand say, okay, committees of parliament now, they are standing committee, 16 of them are anonymous insistence. Looking at the 137, no, that's 16, no, it should be split. NDP should chair 8 of them, and then MPP should chair 8 of them. Unlike the previous convention where a lot of it has actually been chaired by officials of the party that holds the majority. That was his second demand. And then the third thing that he raised at the briefing, earlier today, saying, had the situation with so just no mobile parliament now, or think it will be dealt with on the floor in terms of how they would want the proceedings should be and how there should be some form of investigation into that particular issue. I don't know when it was a humiliation of the House that shouldn't have happened. And at the back, I started to in the course of responding to questions, and they say, when this is one day, to quote him, they will not mind sitting on the left-hand side of the speaker. But in terms of chairmanship of at least 8 of the standing committees, they find it to be non-negotiable. And then Ekosiisen ever responding to some of the issues now party say, as far as they are concerned, they almost constituting majority, alongside Prominent, almost standing on the 7. I check the majority leader, although you're leader of the party or parties, more agree to do business, more constituting more numbers or parliament. In the MPP platform, constitutes majority. Sounds so now, or you say, Aban Babin was selected by consensus as speaker and not exactly elected. I'll say, conclave, there were a number of propositions, or no, or take him a proposition, say, my Aban Babin should hold forth as the speaker for 2 weeks, and then there could be a proper election, because after that, Ura Hinkra Kokofa, ballot papers, maybe Muhune papers, not any idea. That was his first proposal. His second proposal was that there should be a rerun of the elections generally. Both were shut down, and it was the third proposal from the minority side that Babin should be speaker that held sway. For him, that was the basis for which Babin became speaker, and not necessarily the election that unfolded. He's standing by his comment that he was actually selected by consensus. And then, whatever would happen on the floor, they are surprised that the NDC wants to chair some of the committees after they kicked against the approval of the standing orders, the new standing orders, which should have allowed for that before the death of the life of the 8th Parliament. Into this, a new committee has been set up to look at the new standing orders and recommend possible approval. And once that gets done, then there will be a basis for NDC to hold on to some committees, including government assurances and then official legislation, something like public accounting. Those have been indications I are trying to
Asempa FM.
And then we'll see how things
Opoku ahomano aye bad sisia so obetimi agina ye nti what it means is as we speak enwumrei 4 minutes after 5 ochina yenim omo a form majority no more form minority, right?
For now maybe I'll make it clear. The expectation is that NPP, particularly under Senior Markins, he's actually made public a written submission on that. On the floor, I obey you right to speaker officially and read out that right now and make it public to him and invite him to rule on which side of the house AMPP and NDP should constitute majority.
Ekosiisen
And according to Authority Minister Buntuno, when they discussed the issue in the meeting with Speaker Aban Babin agreed with them, say, Formina plus MPP should constitute a majority.
Okay.
And they started to just abra a press conference, but that's what exactly would happen on the floor when make those details clear to the speaker. It's something that we are waiting for. So, change of and that issue will be finally settled after the speaker is invited officially to pass a ruling on the issue.
Plus, chairs of the various committees, so speaker will decide on that.
And not yet. Despite NDC insistence there should be a situation where NDC should chair some of the committees. It's insisting there. It's very clear in the standing order in terms of how the committee should be constituted and who should chair those committees. You know, and that's your it looks like all the push for a year. The insistence that there's no majority, they can attempt to gain some advantage when it comes to negotiating those. But usually, this is how the committees are formed. There is a committee on selection. There is a committee on selection, which is chaired by the Speaker of Parliament. You know, what you can expect to see there will be a motion seeking the setting up of a committee of selection, which the standing orders declare should be chaired by the Speaker. But as to who the other members of the committee should be, once that motion gets moved, both sides will suggest members on that committee. And that committee will then sit under the chairmanship of the Speaker, in this case, Alban Bagbin. And they will then determine who should be in which committee and who should chair which committee.
Okay.
And then in the days ahead, they will come back with a report for the House to then approve before the committee are decided. It looks like we are a long way away from
Yeah. Joseph, my nase, bibi any ebesi about hobio. Why? Great, Joseph Opoku Gakpo, and Yaten and Kaneko saying Sunni, a higher Sempa 94.7 FM. In Parliament, still anonyma and very clear. 2 caucuses, no, a press conference, and minority for any insist. Minority. The NDC caucus insists still and will be anyhow form a majority because 137, 1 independent candidate. In Tianono, even though Amaka so many problem, say a bass or Muntina baby in the house, they have no problem. But Monomu insists that there is no majority in the house. And no NDC for position. Masiaka say because of that 137 into the back committees now. Because committees they are not numbers no and balanced. They be a majority for no numbers kakra SA minority for no. Omomo kase for be 8 committees there was a number no the same. And also there was a speaker eka ho asem. NPP caucus nso insist say once a formina MP e the letter comma speaker there. Omo ena a form majority. And that is what they will be expecting the speaker to rule on. Nyame adomo a ochina make or break. Ebesha said in Yoma ABC Ako on the floor of Parliament. Dr. Bernard Okoboy Ebebemba Ansana no obisa men correct Anthony say Okai Queen North. Or say please let the NDC man also know that Okai Queen North they took it from the NPP, will come back for it, and also it is not true that the NDC has ever won. Or say presidential moon winning presidential Okai Queen North.
Ekosiisen.
The president knows nothing about what he's saying.
Oh,
you should go and look at the
Okai Queen North.
unconscious previous results, presidential and parliamentary. Tama we former deputy regional minister. Yeah.
Also, he's been living in the constituency for 30 years. They did the Kofi Go. I don't know winning presidential.
Who is he?
Kofi Go.
On Oiwana.
I'm kind message now. I was saying with
I've managed elections in the region and the constituency. I know much about
we'll
elections.
check, don't worry. Chum, check him. I'm in a show. I could not presidential. Dr. Bernardo Koboy. Akwa banapom to say.
Obi, Nyanko Padum. Bibi awako.
Nice.
Mami take the opportunity na minchi auti for nyina.
Waiting for.
First time.
Word now using
Official government spokesperson. Oh,
yes.
I'm a basho so.
This year.
Na
with you last week.
Min take the opportunity na min congratulate His Excellency for getting 4 more years. Yempa upon say Nyankopo ankasa bema ne na hini no aye kama. Na ye nyina ya nya ho so the whole Ghana. Say no kan no or a president for both those who voted for him and those who did not vote for him.
Ekosiisen
Obi,
FM.
Ghana your history. Or my women chair your president be or the less than 100,000 votes. Prof Mills na is it 50? 40,000. But in na the sunsum etanichi a piano queenim. Na ene say will be the 500,000 votes. Edia winia asida and Eddie Manyankupon. Na yemi densu say finally no. Efutu a edima ye senior brother John Dramani Mahama. Obi, you are sitting near Masisao. Now that's why Bible can say unim say one of the names and Yakubu friend unim one of the names always the ancient of days.
The ancient of days.
Yeah, you know sometimes you can't be all the time.
Yeah.
You don't sit down to break it down.
Break it down and
but
understand
when you,
why.
Exactly. But when you break it down, it tells you that almost every activity under the sun who be maybe 7,000 years ago. So really that's why they say a bad thing say be surprising. Now you cry yin sano. Yin is ancient of this. And China won't say now President Kufuor no free fear or shed the jacket no Supreme Court. Na ne ye be a car no GM na EP. E che say o di pa o say on slow dey o slow exactly. Na Nyankopon na meta na say. Un say Dogana like president kan ye time a ye rule say GM na president 2012 no. The speech no na me share no live documentary. The sister say go this on Rankasa. Troy. Now one of the comments so kind of very powerful. He say, ni moja, ni bones, ni flesh, ni bibi wono or the akun ama the rule of law my way mu. So although na on jidi omu kanun tumuno, it was say on for omu decision no. Now I'm happy say onu he set a standard obi. Anytime bibi papa besi and obi ani aji say GM akokot the majority compared to the burning of ties and the tension and the anarchy that was unfolding. So Biania just our contest Americano say it is preferred. Obi, who set the pace in the Fourth Republic? Which leader has presented a petition and taken on the whole process, citing police stations and events? Which leader? And then most of the case I play now in Supreme Court, Obi, most of the references, if they want to cite, the most handy reference.
Election petition 2013.
So this man or cancer or the ni life ni na sumoma we ya. That was an experience obi ka say nanka we ehun hia. By ne and now JM say ya fa na de no. De Ekofo-Addo ko ye o court. No mun niama ya su efiri mu and edi ba be guide process. Un say no mo lawyers no be and this lawyers ka say even first petition things were amended. So what? Yeah. Asati. Yeah. Now, when you now say, Nyankopon him the but you know, with reference to what Obisa Nukwe know about some of the seats in Yamano, you know, sometimes, you know, it's good to have eyes beyond the ordinary so that Nyama be a deep. You know, before Christ was killed, there was an offer say, yen free back home. Yet to about Christ na win here. Nipa be free, no na win here. Obi, can you imagine? This was a man who was doing good everywhere he went. They knew. Even the king asked, what have you found in him?
In him.
They couldn't say anything. But they said, kill him. The point I want to make is that sometimes, you know, the outcome of an election ain't necessarily say, Sebi, they were winning on our shed in Yamayi. But it be a Nyakupo person, ye be a estrumbu. At that moment, you know, unipa untiasi. Open Pacha what I say. Even Joseph, the election was between death or selling him. Both outcomes, Mbuano. He was sold as a slave. But it was for him to be positioned to rescue his people later. Me can't wait because Obi. Me you or madam for so I'll be frank or some things. When you have a situation where Odi clinics position your community so that the poor can access it without being asked, say, where is your folder?
Yeah.
Sebi usika odi fa ana a drawway ye turn 10 city to. When you've put in place such a program or constituency, I did that. I started at the beach. Ebi osi mi ko tena ndidi no. E ho na me see the landing beach because they are my people.
Clinic no.
They are my people I know. Say there are some ni ba ho ye hia on co clinic because South 5 city cry ebi asebi e be ka say fa card we are na fa to atibale do no oni bi. And that's why children under 5 die from malaria. So I put that there with a clean heart, knowing say ebe buawon. Uko ona yema wedrua is for free. In fact, next is what catch me say a lot of women, pregnant women, and was the community clinic. I hono you better test urine. I should say protein. So when I did check it in bar antenatal, some pressure in man. Some of them have stopped going to the clinic. They come to the health post at the beach because hono and just carry anything. Obi. You know the word the NDC sent to them. It was a simple word. Oko boy akosi hospital kesi ewo kaswa.
Hey,
enuna na odi way na brem. He knows.
Omuko ka say West Hospital wa kaswa.
Kaswa. Na de me free say fato money. It's na when they interview one of them can say, and I can say na who clear say clean ko any machine. In can say ko just a sardine kekene si na. I get what I'm saying. But you see, if we use vile message and I say you kasa propaganda edi jiadia, that thing has a limit and check. You see, when you use service to win someone, it takes a bad disobedience. Now I explained. But human beings, as we are, Obi, it's part of human nature. When you study psychology and anthropology, human beings sometimes are drawn to kasa sebio enyesa because was some Eddie. I went to radio. I explained to them that now Obi sa end this me boys are end this in penny for their communications PR manager in for a call catch up say Okoboasi hospital cancer. It is hard in cry. Omuka is on check video or see oba up to an you couldn't. So I know and they know. That is not true. I'm happy say all society say na no catch up bluntly say mansa omo form festival diagro that carnival no me must celebrate it in the most potent form than any leader in their history. Say me see must celebrate in for say yes our festival now you 15,000 average ethnic journey on one street 1 kilometer stretch they are close bumper to bumper say be obi also be in fact there is no air between you and the next person. That's how massive the crowd can be. Average 15, sometimes I can get 20,000 youth. The way they celebrate is to go and sit at a dignified place in court. As for me, I did not only join. Exactly, the pot. You don't only need to have interest, you must have strength. That thing, one cycle is about 45 minutes to 1 hour. I train to make sure that I identify with them. But you see, every time I yariaba, only say, sa, si, no, sebisi, it can harm a lot of people. No? And this for comfortably, we're sitting back and tell you, say, oh, Okoboy, no, the president, the COVID advice about almost festivals, no. Now, Mumbisa Nasem. I was expecting, say, although you have political power, no, because it's a matter of preserving the lives of our neighbor. At least ube catch on yourself. Sure, me wa mumpenyin for now. Mu catch on say they should push to celebrate the festival. No, mumba e wo fie. Uma show mu mask. School cry be mum pie because you want them to be alive.
Ekosiisen on.
Now you fire can me muska just like I did the 3-4. I gave all of them money. Send I am to support them in the celebration. If in catch on say activities now consider the festival. They are about 15. It's not every activity that was cancelled. It's the 1 or 2 which come with crowds. Which is like the annual harvest, we call it football. I'm the only MP who has played the soccer. I don't come to watch you, like neighbor. All MPs come to watch. As for me, I am known to be the striker for the Old Stars. We play before the main game. And I wear jersey and football boots. But Obi, meaning say, they also know, say, Sebio population I kitano, you will be more according to the profile, no, utu kasa kwa umutimi eden, esum, ento umutuye. But the Amida Nyankupon say Obi say na me kan no when they voted and Christ was not released, no, it didn't mean say he was the worst person. In fact, sometimes I even use the case of John the Baptist. They cut his head, but he had done no wrong. So Obi, what I can say is say me say no kind anytime they win anytime they win Lejo Kuku, they win with an average of about 9,000 to 10,000. NDC. Me, my mother, may so rest in peace. Not an NDC strong supporter. My uncles were NDC. I lived with them. I've studied their mind. If you ask them, they are honest with you. They don't know why they are there. But Obi, over the years, the NDC has succeeded in sort of telling some of our folks, say, that is where they belong. And to forgive me, for them, the NDC is a house of folk. The more they score them, the more they have to even show more love, because that's what, it's a heritage, Obi. And that's why, Obi, I'm coming. Obi, are you seeing how deep it is? Yeah. And that is why, although they managed in this election to get 9,000 votes, gap ahead presidential, they had about 9,000 difference. Although, like I say, I closed it to about 1,005 or so. Why? Because every day the message I tell my people is that, and yet the all candidate no so do and odo na the ni and I always cite the landing beach of President Kufuor. Landing beach only message on the mom simple. Oh, Sikana President Kufuor yet I need to over fan or Obi, you understand? Because they know the profile, you know. But the point I'm here is, Obi, you don't give up hope. I know, say, as you stay closer and work on them. Look, Obi so Obi Awole Jokuku say, what is one policy? Our more candidate, you know, I can't say me ba met my way. It's not on record.
Ekosiisen on
He did not speak.
FM.
He did not articulate. Who they radio and TV? To be at one public platform and say this is what I will do. No, they just sent their agents and say, "Oh, so people voted for him. Sabi just like they said, kill cars when they are not seeing him or heard him. But Sen Americano because sometimes when you person on fire experience bimu Obi, unse Obi timi ma we duani de bia it might become ordinary until it gets to a time when water is even a problem.
Yeah.
Then you come to realize that no, I mean something big was happening in the past. So me who say it's a learning experience. But what I'm happy about is the fact that Nyankopon the executive power. I tell all my MPP in Crawford, say, just as a lot of seats went to the NDC, in the same vein, because me name like Lejoku, for example, say Kasa or many befa seats, no, and yes, service Sanka Papano, Abwa Ebusan 4, Ama Wayeni, Ama touchy lives, and other winning seat now. In my heart, I know say it can be difficult to get it back. And I said, you, and also say, Sebi me Kasa. I leave that to God. But the point I'm making is that I am confident that the MPP can take back a lot of seats because I know what happened in Nungwa at least. I know what happened in Krowo, that's Nungwa.
Yeah,
I know what happened in La. Obi, I am being honest with you. It's not like their candidates overwhelmingly impacted the lives of the people and for that matter they swing to their side. No. It's a lot of perception, talk, you know. And I'm being honest. And I've started like this festival, you say, Master, as for the festival, when you know, and I even met my people, me catch them say, oh, cry and yet, I'm not the one setting the standard. It has been set through a executive
instrument, yes.
Obi, Mitchum, even Momuska, even all that. Look, police. I mean, some are in house. Obviously, knowing them, being with them, being born from Teshi. Means small police say, Yanko arrest
FM
in the night for maybe jubilating festival. But yes, there were some arrests, Obi. I am not the one behind. But how it happened, in-house will solve it. But the point I'm making is that quickly, the NDC jumped on board. Yeah, Obi Akoye na Omusomanya. Say, oh, say, Koboy no. Ono na wa arrest. Now him, route van na Eko Mpuano. My people, I'm not surprised. They are very daring. Police in soldier crowd, they can take you on. They took some on. Onim say route van na Edi Mpuano. NDC can say, Kase okro so Koboy na na tina staring nechi anso she kra no or pompi Obi. Now, you know what?
And the NDC for can say
Obi. But you see, as an individual, no, there's been instances ma call to the rescue of my people that me kai time be open defecation. Me kai say Obi my echo arresting one, and I make up plead here so that we can have a forum and see how to address the issue. Later, Kasa Kosro say the impression was that me supporting want to be very what's the word, lawless. That's what I said. I'm penny for being whom you know. And you said this is a guy who sets people up to break rules. That's what I say. So when these COVID things were happening, Obi, imagine Deputy Minister of Health helping government to fight this pandemic. Now the impression comes out that youth of over 15,000. Now you have video. Now Kasaba say you got the opportunity to speak to them. You were silent on whether they should do. Obi, it was a tightrope. But San Americano, in all things, I believe all things work together for good.
For good.
For those that love Christ.
It's interesting. Apart from Lejokuku, one man in that exposition or no, Greater Accra generally. Said now all cano. Now Omoje say 9 seats, right? 7 seats every moho.
Obi, I think one thing too affected we are MP or Greater Accra. It may affect when you say this is the capital.
Ekosiisen on Ahana
Sebio democracy I say Washington DC. Although minus soon. Ahana Kasano. Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, I said this thing here. You said no.
Oh, Semika. No. Oh, Obi. Say every factor and the significance percentage are a play. Yes. Now, on say Sebi. Me can't be say 2008. Ebi mu GDA. Say bank accounts be MPP profit. MPP for be kita certain banks were Ghana. Ubuano e suche Ghana crash.
Yeah.
So sometimes one thing about corruption is Obi, the corruption must not be exact, have been executed or real.
Yeah.
Just it's been
Perception.
mentioned. Exactly. So say Oshia Ghana ni crab and say corruption. Then say now cash for seats. When you idea I say enjoy. Obi, but what was cash for seats? It's because there was letter Obi say before I occupy some seats, your money I mean, when it was probed, it came out that and yes, Alan Akojis Karami. But because there was once upon a time cash for seats probe is an example of then corruption. Obi Kurati can say, oh, now Japano na Saskano. Obi, as we speak, it's an arrangement that was brought to Parliament. It's not even been finalized. Yeah. So Martin Amidu was raising issue with the processes that had gone through, but Enukra and Obi Timika. Now, one thing with the middle class, Obi, middle and upper class, and I'll give you a typical analogy. If Sana middle and upper class team, me can be as 2016, President Kufuor's margin of victory was huge for two reasons. His policies, our articulated were fantastic, but also was the serious mismanagement people were feeling under jail. I'm being candid with you. So that se obi akoye ejuma wa brain ni na obedrufie na obi light ni so na also on so generator na generator dey ni to ntimi dey here okoto aba na bu fu ba obi sa nipa no se ultimate stabilize power na o hye oniama yie enche obi se ukoye bibi obi be ka se we minor na what is obi president aban ebia the ministers ebia 115 and 120. Now, I feel say it could have been 110 and 100. Obi, there are some who can vote say be against you because one or prefer 100 ministers to 110. Big government. But Obi, guess what? Power now. Onyana no. It's okay. Fu na first or line. Sometimes on autono. Ninsaka Obi. Wajia to cry say if you're a businessman or better make you say now the interest rates look better than the first. Things are okay. But on that one issue, the point I want to make is that middle to upper class, sometimes all niyama washishe ama niyama ye okay they can place value on an issue. They can disregard all your wire. So if you are an MP contesting in Accra, those people if their numbers rise, it can worry you. Where you've done significant achievement, like cleaning up a sector, like making sure that power is stable, like making sure that rates are good, like making sure that cash flow is okay for businesses, like working on taxes. Obi, but because Otinefie as Obia Sebio or Kainyama, or say Obi, I have an issue with the way Obi crowd put me full because I was shocked. Obi catch him and said, Doctor, I didn't tell you to tell me. He said, siren, you did car now, Land Cruiser siren. Obi, and I mean catch him and say, oh, but if JM comes, they also use it. Or see JM Musubano is uncle to now I get the point I'm making. So Obi, I think that is where sometimes that's why Accra some seats can shift. And I think also, let's be honest, the candidates also we've all learned lessons. Me can say President Kufuor, he did so many projects in Lejokuku. Me share that Obi, not even one flyer. And I'm here Okoboepe. I make sure that everywhere I go, my picture. They were set be minimum be all year poster mommy for ballot number 1. And they see was a open ahead. Yen found to so the chair where to tamprint number 1. Obi, I rejected them. Me catch and say on ye meaning nana. I say but nobody does that with 2. Otherwise, 1 by 2. Me see, even if it's 1, 2, do it. Why? Because I never wanted even an iota of signal to go to say, you are distancing yourself from what? Your presidential candidate. Open what I say. But even with all that and the Juma president, I coming from Lejokuku, only a 9,000 gap, because meaning say you have quite a number of people. I call it a default setting. They vote NDC, not because of who is on the poster, but because over the years,
NDC are no motto.
Obi, and these were some of the things they look when names knew. And to be said, say, Lejoku, are you going to pick the seat? We are poised for victory. But your candidate is not seen. We are poised for victory. But Okobo is everywhere. We are poised for victory. The poise for victory is in the default setting. That prayer is that when the default setting comes, it can swing in the thousands, not even in 1,000. Now, that default setting will be like I worked on my own family. It is changed when you relate closely over years. And then I push people that vote for me or someone based on their output. I can tell you that there are a lot of people in this country who vote not on output. And Nukpenu is aware. If Nukpenu type in Kwana Ole Jukuku, even his candidate wouldn't have won. Because in the party aside, he would have looked at what output.
Yeah.
Now, because I know my people, that's why Obi, I'm still Uhumia. I've not lost much in code. Because if you know your people, as a doctor, if you have the diagnosis, you keep on working on the cure. And with time, a time will come when Uye Kande Ole Jokukwa, your points for victory will not be based in the default voting party, but it will be based
on output,
on what you have done, or what you intend to do for them.
Wow. And Dr. Bernardo Koboy and Moten and Ekosiisen Suni Haya Sempa 94.7 FM. Mamin Fenchem say information production team that they abreme and Nupeno for Kaikwe North. I think presidential no 96 was Kufo.
Ekosiisen
2000 Kufo, 2004 Kufo, 2008 Nanado, 2012 Nanado, 2016 Nanado. Oh, and you know Peace FM online. Election, it's there, and that's the voting pattern for.
I don't know how you got this information.
Oh no! It's so when put it away and you're point.
The time, Kanko North was divided.
Where you just want to about course we win you. On your film,
when it was divided.
Yes.
It was in 2012 when we had the central and the north.
First, since you see I will Kaikwe South, and it was central, and it was north.
And Kanko North.
Okay.
And number ye Abeka Fadama.
And the be central.
Tesanu Honmunina Efi North. No, central.
Okay.
I get him.
Okay.
So I'll cross check.
Okay.
I knew once we won the presidential and then they won the parliamentary on a slim margin. Okay. So I am not wrong on this thing.
But I think the parliamentary voting history now 96 NPP, 2000 MPP, 2004 NDC won.
No.
2008.
2004 who?
Okay, North Assembly making. Hey, Monsieur. So I can't of the year discussing. 2004. The record shows that 2004 was NDC.
Who was the candidate?
No, it's not here. I'll get that for you. And 2020 so NDC assigned Ababeji.
I know it was 2096 or so.
Okay.
Well, let's go on.
Yeah, and you would move on and get the detailed info. And I'm for me, go for so interested. I'm going to bring out the data no about into a year. 2012, for example, Kaikwe North constituency. Nana Dunya 28,094, John Mahamanya 26,000. And presidential Nanado won that in Kaikwe North. 2016
that was when it was, I think it was divided.
Oh, okay, but I still okay.
The division was 2012.
Because 2016
Okanko Central.
Okay, it was 2012, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2004 time NDC we Richard Simon's Queen of the NDC. Only we need 2004. And now MPP candidate there Elizabeth Teriasaki. On also 46.10%. Is that it? So who won? Chum, wait, no data. Look at your data.
We contested.
Yeah.
But that was when Saki went to Parliament in 2004. 2004.
And Saki was MPP.
Yes.
The
former regional deputy regional minister.
Okay. And we'll come back to this. Ekosiisen so
is it Obi?
Higher Sempa FM.
Mini Okuboka seem very instructive. And I think I begin to say million was to you guys. 2016 at Oranchema 2 years. It's because Accra is the capital. Anything that happens have its heavy impact here. So the Doomsaw issue that they used played at us. So I think at that time, you can say the way this bank issue is being managed, this financial issue is being managed in this country and men's gold, come 2020 election, it will be what many people will use to vote against them. Because that is a cry. Unye bibi ya wahana se bibi ba unse moa, and I be to be money in Krasi for, and then Krasi for in the Kronki 12 for no so. So when you are putting policies, you must be very careful how you do things and make sure you're in that level of happiness. So because my study the special voting and I saw a trend. Martina said my own analysis and I know why it went so. But Mimi Tina and Casa Nemano. And for me, 2024, no, I believe, having looked at 2016 and 2020, a year baseline, a firm research. It means that how do I enter 2024 election? Ebina Makajo said the caliber of persons would manage you party structure and your key to be able to win 2024. Yeah. Then again, when time no bath. Unyas a caliber of persons now they will determine who leads in the parliamentary because the parliamentarian or the parliamentary candidate is the one who works 24/7 in the constituency to be able to marshal the votes. And to me, we've learned our lessons, both the positive and the negative, and it will guide us. Again, on say Oko boy, yes, COVID na we know what was at stake. Oko boy knew said Ninkrofo, that is their festival. Way back, Okwebo should have devised a strategy of engaging the people. He didn't do it. It's a baputupu. Now, person apply the whipper. You know how people will not accept it. I can tell in confidence a young cohort and then the project say because Shen Kutupa say Omundifali. I engage them. That is a falsehood you are putting out here. I engage them. Say NDC for no. No. Because you say Wunkrofuno, that is their belief and their strength.
He even said COVID is not intention.
Me see. That is what they say. And you see, at that moment, aggressive no there's nothing you will tell me.
There's no point that I confronted. It was engagement.
No. Is it so?
It was the law officers. And I can say, even the instruction didn't come from my end.
But Adam, who?
Because I'm the elected officer.
Yes, you know it. This MC now, no. Massa is he's not going for election, so nobody.
I did not mention
MC Obano.
No, I'm not talking about her per se, but also at that moment, is they control the security apparatus. Yeah, but because of no election, the vulnerable person is the one whose face comes on the ballot. So these are the things that come, and my commending, he has come, and the family, or no, DC boy, but you know, and that analogy I was drawn, the same analogies at the opposite side. How people believe say the chance here UP then, so they also are there. Today, it takes a candidate to appear in some of those constituencies and be able to work on them, as you are also doing. And as is happening now, we are all devising strategy out of it. And I'm catch up from the beginning, say, how do we play the game to make sure say one no. And then, what are they seeing that they are not coming with you? What do you have to do? So in your power, you tend to look at the opponent, say, vote more. Instead of growing the home that supported you, because Papa, Mami, sister no shasi no, omwawo, omnana no moba. Omucho mu no mu say, aye nana no me mami mu sha adiya say don't mwenya. What did they? Why should I follow them? When you don't impact positively in the life of those who started with you, none of their children will follow you. And that is how the game is playing in this our circle. Oko will not disagree with me on this. It's on both sides. And then Mimi say yenya staunch believer of NDC who controls a bigger family ties within Menshia, within Bantama, within Shaesu, within. He will be able, so when we need vote in the Crown Power, he will pull us probably closely because Wa ye bibia ma omu ehu. But omu nji sadin to say oh NPP de ye dia. But omu say ye papa we ye bra we. Ni odi ba no esumbo. That is what the boy. Of course. I'm already bought verdict on the Sikapudo no the Sasikano Okobonya half and Okobonya half and called the Kobaby. It's for me, no. As Mika and Yamina dear corner the Asida dear. And I know say we are all going to focus and work and make sure say Ghana have a certain growth. I never to the company. I know my some of my MPs positives and negatives. So we have to blend our work and make sure say they are able to sustain the growth that we want to build in those constituencies going to 2024.
Okay. Anthony Nukwenuni attending Kano and 92 mum and NDC winning or Kaikwe no parliamentary.
92 there was no parliamentary election from the opposition side.
Of course, the NDC
for the past 24 years, you winning
order. Yes. For the parliamentary.
Parliamentary.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that is it. But yabeba parliament na how anyoma ACA shape up Dr. Bernardo Koboy wa haidie. TCL back to school promo nso you so then TCL said they've got you covered as school resumes with an amazing offer. You can save so much during TCL's back to school promo. Now Wednesday in your shares here, Saturday 16th January and eba ewie. Anytime I will be to TCL kids tablet and an adult tablet 8-inch there no 8 inches there and a TCL universal router and a 97-liter tabletop fridge. A born yatete to say who at the amount to buy eco school no more than a TCL and kola tablet ni be a day and the offer is available in all TCL showrooms across Ghana. Okay, and website and so at tclghana.com. Offer 0596 913 298 0596 913 298. TCL back to school or say save more. Phones now will part on so a Franco Trading Enterprise near come from genuine Samsung, Nokia, iPhones, Franco TVs, mature digital and silk light with ultra panels. Among others, your laptops, your tablets, your printers, your accessories, your Franco Trading. Your office was the Braka opposite Roxy Cinema. Offer numbers here 0246 422 338 0246 422 338. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still a phones papa fee and the ho erishan so am I yentie we yeba Dr. Bernardo Okoboy the Yembe Parliament here basis here.
Enapa